What's up, guys? How's everyone doing today? It's Johnny. So, this is my Tuesday morning, first live stream of the day. I'm going to be going live one more time today. I'm also going to be uploading my Joshua Pagan versus Malik Montgomery breakdown, prediction, and analysis stats don't lie video. This is going to be the fight that starts our weekend off. It is in Puerto Rico. It's a matchup between two top 100 fighters at 135 pounds. Malik Montgomery, he's going to have the more knockouts. He's coming down from 140. Joshua Pagan. Both guys are good. This is a fun fight. Obviously, flying under the radar. We know about mainstream boxing media outlets. They're only going to cover a few fights a year, pretty much, when you think about how many fights there are every week. So I'm giving you guys a heads up there. The biggest fight is obviously going to be Wardley versus Parker. But there's some great fights. Bibiana's fighting. There's some great fights this weekend. So I'm gonna cover as many as I can in my Stats Don't Lie fight prediction series, but we're going to talk about all the fights on the live streams. So, guys, pinned in the comments section below is a link to become a Johnny Says Boxing Insider. It's a couple bucks a month. Join here. There's a couple different levels of membership. Whether you join level 1, level 2, or level 3, all levels get you access to our Discord. The Discord, we have about, I think we're up to 245 people in the Discord. So I want to talk to the Discordians real quick. We just launched a new channel. So as you can tell, it's not just boxing. It started off just as boxing, and you're only going to get boxing breakdowns from me, my channel. But the boys asked, we have a new channel called Polls and Voting. So I launched this last night. So everybody in the Discord, you guys have free access to this channel. It's a new one. We're going to use it. I know some of the boys wanted to do it for fight breakdowns. As you could see, who posted this? PJ posted a poll, Bradley Ray versus Lyndon Arthur. But I also launched this section for you guys to do polls on parlays. So whenever I post one of these, so this is my section where I post my parlays before the fights and after. Obviously, if they don't win, you guys have the receipts, and when they do win, we post. But like, for instance, this three-legger that Gary from 3D Boxing and I put together on a live stream, you guys now could either screenshot this or type it out and at me in the Discord and then do a poll and ask everybody, hey guys, of these three legs, which one is most likely to fail? This was kind of the gist on why I started this, because you guys were asking, let's add another element to the Discord and group chat that we could, use as a tool, because at the end of the day, we all want to eat. Everybody wants to win. And I think this little add-on will be a good feature. So you could use it for, as you saw, PJ, fight versus fight. I think this way would be a little bit better. We'll see how it goes. I think this is why I actually started it, because this is what I thought you wanted it for. The parlays. So whether somebody posted their parlay prior, you could post it in there. We know this one didn't hit. Basketball season starts this weekend. Hey, the Cavs. I'm a Cavs fan. So as you guys could see, the boys who aren't in the Discord, I just want you to know this is a community, right? This is why I started this. I'm not saying you're gonna make millions. I'm not promoting my services as a betting guru. I want to give a shout out to KOW Kyle. He's been helping me a lot behind the scenes. I want to play something for you guys. So I didn't know about this. I just want to let you guys know, I didn't start this Discord because I didn't know anything about this. I didn't realize there were betting influencers. Like, this is part of my naivete. I didn't start my content on YouTube to sell picks. I've never said, come join my Discord, buy my picks. So I'm only clarifying that because there was some confusion earlier in the week about this. I didn't know on TikTok and whatever, Snapchat and whatever, that people are marketing themselves to sell their picks, and they're positioning themselves as betting gurus, and a lot of this stuff is fake. Shout out to Kyle for sending me this. I watched it. It's a 28-minute video. It's insane. I had no idea.
That's what I'm talking about.
Punt with Ladbrokes this spring and see how it's now faster to find, place, and track bets with us than
I'm just gonna play a little bit of this.
Chances are you're about to lose.
Let's go, baby! That's another undefeated day for the Guffey.
Blowout winner. I cannot.
I had no idea.
Man, I'm so fired up right now. I have 200,000 in my hand.
You've seen them, the guys on TikTok or Instagram who claim they're making thousands betting on sports. They've got stacks of
Okay, I'm just gonna stop it there because I don't want to get a copy strike. But this is insane. I didn't realize, and now I kind of understand. You know, there were a couple guys who come to the Discord think I've never once screaming at. This is comical. This is cringe. I can't believe this is a thing. And you're not going to get that in our Discord. I just wanted to make sure that you guys know that. Moving forward, we're going to get to the gist of it. So we launched our NBA channel. We got hockey in that. These are all from your request, by the way. If it was, I only did it for boxing and MMA, right? You guys then asked for American football, soccer, hockey, basketball, and then paper, scissors, rocks is next, just to give everyone a heads up. We'll be launching the paper, scissors, rocks channel for everybody, and then also guess this number. So I think that's going to be the most plausible Discord channel next. Is what we'll do is, I guess there's a lot of people online or experts that guess this number. So it's a sport where you just go like this, and then I just say, what number am I thinking? And then you guess, and I'll tell you if you were right or wrong, and you have to pay me. So that'll be next, the Guess This Number channel. So stay tuned. So moving forward, as you guys are tapping in, what is cracking? I'm just catching up to all of your comments. I appreciate the support. What's good? What's good? UK in the house. You know I love the UK. You know I love the UK. One of the only roommates I've ever had as an adult. He was from East London. He taught me Cockney. He taught me how to do what he would speak in rhyming. He was a white kid from East London who was a foster kid who was raised by a Jamaican lady, and she was his foster mom. She was his mom. And he grew up on the streets of East London working at the stalls. I met him sparring at a fight gym, and he was a Muay Thai fighter. His name was Jesse. So ever since then, great dude. Jesse, if you're ever watching this, hopefully you're doing well. He moved back to the UK during the pandemic, but I love the UK. Hey, mate. So SX, what's the point of polls, though? People are just going blindly, take the most shows to win. I don't know. Look, this is what you guys asked for. Some people want to do polls. Don't expect me, S6, to take control of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the channel is public in the Discord. You guys have full access. That's probably my favorite thing about Discord is that you guys, you know, I moderate, and I have a couple other boys behind the scenes who help me moderate. You know, they'll add their 2 cents, and I'm learning how to give them keys to the car so they could actually have more accessibility and actually functionally moderate. But my favorite thing about the Discord is I didn't do this for me to put up polls. I do film study. I give you my breakdowns. But I get it. People want another tool. I think they're gonna use it as a tool to hopefully allow them to make better decisions. So Will, many are affiliated with sports, but yeah, I think. Do you guys think Carlos was affiliated? Maybe Carlos was affiliated. Well, yeah, bro, that 26-minute video that Kyle sent me, it was very eye-opening. I had no idea it was a thing. Along with the Parker Wardley card, there's a doubleheader in Kyrgyzstan, headlined by Bibiano. Yeah, dude, this is a great card. Tataryn, we just saw. Tataryn had that fight in Japan, right? We just saw him. We know John Casimiro. I have a Facebook group, and I gotta be honest with you. I get the amount of people, boxing fans in the Philippines, is quite impressive. And my Facebook group, mate, they love Casemiro. So shout out. Bibiano versus Dusmatov. That's a great fight. There's some great fights. Our Discord ran more. Yeah, exactly. This is how we run it. So this is the first fight. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. So I'll be uploading my Stats Done Live video on this fight specifically because it's the first one on our schedule. We got this fight, and then we're gonna move forward. This goes down on my Friday at 12:30. So in America, this is your Thursday night, and just on the money line odds, it's a great one-off bet. What I like to do when these days are staggered, I'm gonna pick my winner, and I'm gonna wait till that settles, and then what I'm gonna do is take the if hopefully I get it right, and then I'll take that, and then I'll double that into the weekend. But these are great odds. You don't have to get too sexy. Outcomes. I get all I do my best work with money line picks. I just learned what being a sharp. I didn't know about what a sharp is. So I guess a sharp is somebody who likes, not necessarily likes, but finds success picking underdogs. And lately, I've been finding success picking underdogs. Obviously, you're not going to get 100% accurate picking all dogs, which I don't. But last weekend, I found great success. The weekend before, and even in the L's, like I'm not saying this is the case. You do your film study, and sometimes every now and then the books have it wrong. So these odds, why I'm referencing that, is whether you go left or right is a great fight to start your weekend off. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah, I'm going to highlight this comment. Yeah, I knew you weren't hating, mate. I knew you weren't hating. And this is something I told the story before. I once had a business relationship. We ran a couple podcasts together. We did a U.S. tour. He was my business partner. We used to do functions, and we used to do sort of presentations and public speaking events. And our relationship crumbled because if you don't call or pick the phone up with somebody, whether it's a business relationship, an intimate relationship, just a platonic relationship, and you just, in times of arguing or turmoil, and you're just going off reading text, you could take text out of context. So one of the things I learned from that business relationship that failed was, and this is what I advise you guys to do, if ever there's a stressful scenario or a point of contention in any of your relationships, don't text, call, because it's always easy to misconstrue somebody's intention, or you're missing out on voice inflection when you're just reading a text. So I knew you weren't hating, mate. I wanted to highlight that. Kiza, yeah, I rate Malik. I got to watch more on Pagan. Yeah, let's pull that up then. Let's pull. I'm gonna pull their resumes up. Okay, so I should mention Malik Montgomery is coming down from 40. This fight's at 35. You see, make what you will of BoxRec algorithm. 75 and 73 globally, 25 and 30, 5'10", 5'9". A lot of the intangibles are going to cancel each other out. I'm going to click on them individually real quick so you boys can see. And girls, we got some girls in here. I think 3% of my subscribers are females. So if I offend anybody by saying boys, don't get offended. This is a well-respected boxing channel. We're not trying to offend people. See, nothing really jumps off this is why you have to watch tape, and I'll show you why in a second. This is why you have to watch tape. 13-0, 4 knockouts, right? If you were to just, and I want, over time, I know that my channel is filled with well-studied, well-versed, educated boxing fans, but there are people who come new to the game who will do this, and this is what I advise you not to do. They'll look at Josh's record, 13-0, 4 knockouts, and then they'll look at Malik's record, 20-1 with 18 knockouts, and they won't do film. They'll just look at the records, they'll look at the knockout to win ratio, and they would take Montgomery based on that. You got to do film. If this is what, you're serious about. Even if you're a true boxing fan, you really want to understand the sport. Don't just use records and ratios to come up with your reasoning for betting on a fighter. Malik, not a puncher. He throws a lot of volume and breaks you down. What you also want to do, and this is what a lot of the, as you start doing your film, do take relevance in the total resume, but in a fighter's career, Malik's 30. I don't want to say that he is who he is. I don't want to say that he's peaked or that it's a ceiling, but generally in a boxing context, a fighter who's 30 is going to be who he is, right? His skill set, I'm going to use the word peaked for it not to be disrespectful, but a 30-year-old pro fighter is going to be the version of who he is. And he could work on things, but he's really not going to add too many new weapons into his arsenal. You can work on your cardio, even that sometimes a gas tank, your body's energy systems will kind of max out as well in terms of output and recovery. Some things you can work on to add to your game are things like fight IQ, execution, strategy, game plans. But in terms of like power, speed, even sometimes punch placement, at 30 you're kind of maxed out. I reference that because you don't really need to go deep down into your film study. You don't have to watch his last 10 fights. I would go, obviously, to the lost Jeremy Hill. I'm going to watch the Lucas fight and the Escandon fight. And you could pretty much get a good depiction on who he is. So Jeremy Hill, he lost this fight. You guys should recognize Jeremy Hill from the channel. Jeremy Hill, 22-4, 13 knockouts. So he fights at super feather. This is a bigger dude, so he's coming off a loss to Chacon. This fight's on YouTube though. You could watch Montgomery versus Jeremy Hill on YouTube. It was one of these OTX fights. Something that I would, that I look for. Notice the weight class, super feather. Montgomery fought this fight at super feather. Here's BoxRec. I didn't pay the $1. And this fight with Pagan is at 135. So, weight class is not a huge jump, not a huge discrepancy. Just something to think about. So we're going to get into that. I'm going to upload that to the channel. I've already taped it. I just have to edit it and upload. Let's take a look at what else is coming up. So this is another, I'm not saying, these odds to me, just off jump, because, this is what I do. I watch Rene Bibiano, Calito, 7-1 dog. 7-1 dog. I mean, we just watched him fight. I'm going to pull this up real quick. So Rene Bibiano, 23-1-1, Mexican fighter, tough guy, El Indio. 7-1 dog. I lost money in his last fight. I'm not going to say, he fought Willibaldo Garcia this Mexican card. This would have been, in May, I think. It was a very close fight. I took Bibiano. He was a 3-1 dog in that fight, and he lost against Willibaldo Garcia. It was a close fight. It could have gone either way. Obviously, they fought the first time. It was a draw. And then those are his blemishes. Not the greatest resume. Doesn't have too many sort of names that are gonna jump off the screen. All I'm saying is we know on the chat what to expect from a Mexican traveling. Duzmatov 8-0. People are high on him, guys. So you guys think the 7-1 odds are great? Duzmatov is sick. I love watching him fight, but the odds are wide. Okay, yeah. We're seeing the same thing then. I'm not sitting here and saying Renee is going to beat Duzmatov, but I mean, show the kid a little bit more respect. This is another example, guys, of a pro with 20. So he has 25 pro fights versus a guy who has a lot of hype with under 10 pro fights. We've seen in the last 6 months. We've seen this before, guys. Frankie Rod versus Galal Yafai. Jazza Dickens versus Albert Badr Gaziev. Sofiane in France. So all I'm saying is I'm a bit weary on these odds. Call it PTSD, call it what you will. But we've seen these guys going as huge favorites. These guys with under 10 pro fights from this part of the world. Unanimous. Really doesn't have too many, doesn't have a lot of experience. I mean, Bibiano by decision. Bibiano on the money line. Why get sexy on it? Yeah, I didn't tape, or the only time Chicken Metcalf showed up on a parlay was we did one on a live stream. But yeah, that's not Chicken was a 40-year-old former champion though. I'm talking about okay, you guys are missing my point. Of course they're all different fighters, mate. They're not all the same. You're missing my point is when you look at patterns, when you look at pattern recognition and odds, and fighters with over 25 pro fights going into a fight, traveling as the B side, as a huge underdog against fighters with under 10 pro fights, we've seen it happen, mate. Just to remind you guys. We know that Frankie popped. This was a big one, Galal Yafai. He was a huge favorite. I think 4-1, 5-1. Unfortunately, Frankie Rod came in there, was a huge underdog, won the fight, popped dirty. That's an example. Maybe 3 months ago, Jazza Dickens goes to Turkey to fight Albert Badr Gaziev. Jazza, 41 pro fights. Huge underdog against a guy in Badr Gaziev who, 10 pro fights? Badr Gaziev's corner stopped the fight. This was in Turkey. Badr Gaziev was a huge favorite. All I'm saying is, this is a pattern, guys. It's just something to look at. When I see this, dude, when I see Bibiano a 7-1 dog against Dumatov, man, after all the boxing I watch, knowing Bibiano, a Mexican fighter with crazy output, endurance, Duzmatov, it's something to look at. That's all I'm saying. Something to look at. The unpopular take, Wardley finishes Parker early. Parker's recent wins don't impress me. He hasn't fought a legit contender since he got KO'd by George. I don't know if that is that unpopular. Is that an unpopular take? I don't know. I'm not saying I actually look. Parker's 36-3. We know he's been stopped once. Only GK referencing here. I'm agreeing with you, G. I'm not impressed with the Martin Bacoli fight. Bacoli takes that fight on like 4 days' notice. I'm not impressed with that fight either. And look, what you have to ask yourself this though is, it is impressive how Fabio Wardley has been operating. It is. You can't say, I mean, I just posted this on my Instagram. Fabio Wardley had no amateur background, was not a fighter. In the UK and in Australia, we have a thing called white collar boxing. So let me paint you the picture. You and me work as recruiters. We work in a recruitment office. Friday to Sunday, you get on the bags, get on the piss, probably go whoring. That's what the dudes do in Sydney. My UK old roommate did that. He'd wear a suit and act like he was this pristine fella. He was a recruiter. But then on the weekends, he would just act like a savage, dude. Chaos. That industry has a thing called white collar nights where boxing gyms are hired out to where you go through a fight camp with real boxing trainers. You fight other recruiters or lawyers, whatever it may be. You have a whole event. You sell tickets. It's at a venue. You get called. It's a cool experience. This is how Wardley got his start, right? You just have to ask yourself, is Joe Parker a better boxer than Hooney? I think he's a better boxer than Hooney. Hooney was winning literally almost every moment of every round against Wardley until he wasn't. Now, people are going to say because of that, Wardley's going to get outboxed. Other people are going to say because of that, Wardley's going to stop Parker. And there are two sides to both. There are conversations to be had. There are conversations to be had about both sides. It's. Are we going to overthink it? Probably. Are we going to? Am I going to overthink it? Probably. Imagine doing white collar boxing. You got to. I know, bro. Right, boy. So I actually brought this up. Just so damn, this shit ain't working. It's just impressive how he's just done what he's done. Get you some. That moment will haunt Justice Hooney forever. There's no way of getting around it, guys. That moment, Hooney won't be able to get over that. He was winning every moment of every round. And he walked right into that. Probably one of the lowest IQ decision-making processes in a heavyweight fight with so much on the line that I've seen. I don't know what's worse than that by Hooney. I got to be honest with you. That moment will bother him forever. What other example do we have? He was, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that happened in the 11th. He was minutes away from getting a world title shot. He traveled to the UK. He was the B-side in his opponent's backyard and was dominating, boxing masterfully. Could you imagine if he just does what his coaches wanted him to do and wins that fight how he was winning? The whole heavyweight landscape will be different. I want to see Hooney versus Moses Ituama. People are ordaining Moses Ituama as Mike Tyson. I mean, he looks good. If Moses could beat Justice, then I might start believing in it. Will we see Moses versus Justice? Probably not. But that's the fight I want to see. All right, I want to bring this point up. So put a 1 in the chat if you know what round robin betting is. And put a 2 in the chat if you've never heard of it. Boxing fan, he's a Johnny Says VIP. He's an insider. He's been teaching me and educating me on round robin betting. And I don't know anything about it. He sent me a message. So yeah, obviously I know you know. Okay, so TBE, PBC. Now I wanted to bring Boxing Fan on to chat about it because, like I said, I didn't start this to promote my betting. I'm still learning. I just happen to do pretty good on seeing who's going to win overall. But round robin betting is a strategy that I don't understand because you could do a parlay and lose a fight and still win. Now, also, do all sports books offer this? Does every betting app offer round robin betting? I'm gonna pull mine up to see if it does. So let me know. Boxing fan. If by the way, boys, we're 32 minutes in. If anybody in the Discord wants to pop on to come on the live, click the link. I shared the link in the Discord. I'm just typing in round robin betting. I've never even heard this round robin betting. Yeah, I'm not getting anything. Y'all cats is wild, man. Y'all boys is out here crazy. Y'all cats is wild. But anyway, yeah, so right now, Wardley, Parker, how you see it playing out? Yeah, most sports books. Yeah, I don't, that's why I'm kind of hesitant. It's kind of hesitant for me to talk about, to cover, to preach, to strategize, to promote, or to market a feature that everybody, the consensus can't take advantage of. So are people the people who are taking Parker, are they dismissing Wardley as a boxer? Because I got to be honest with you guys, Fabio Wardley isn't just a puncher. He's a good athlete. He's very athletic. So it's not like one of these things, where he lacks is obviously boxing experience. I mean, I'm sure the odds are going to shift. If you guys are really high on Parker, I guarantee the closer we get to fight night, there's going to be money coming in on Wardley by knockout. I want to look at that actually real quick. You could guarantee it. It's 100% going to be a thing. So if you guys are really high on Parker, let's look at the odds. I would jump on it right now. That's going to be the move. Wow. I mean, I got to be honest with you guys. Is $1.23 even enough if you're a Parker fan to put on a parlay? You know what I'm saying? So something I've learned, something I've taken in consideration, I've learned from Chilltown, TJ, shout out to TJ, is the fact that just because there's a popular fight, a mainstream fight, I think this is behind a paywall. I don't think this is free. I think this is a pay-per-view. Doesn't mean you have to bet on it. So like when I'm done with my film and when I upload my Stats Don't Lie video and I tell you who's going to win, that doesn't mean I'm going to bet on it. Let's say I'm taking Parker. He's going to outbox Wardley. He's going to show Wardley things he's never seen. He's going to, not make the same mistakes that Hooney did. And I'm taking Parker on the money. That doesn't mean I'm going to bet on him. Only because of the risk. $1.23. What sort of is that enough value to even put on a parlay? Is this, you got to go method of victory. You got, if you're siding with Parker, you probably have to go decision unless you see him stopping Wardley. And then Wardley, for me, the $4.50 on the money line, almost a 4-1 dog, that is extremely tempting. This is why I think the odds will shift. So if you're on Parker, guys, I would wait. Trust me on this. If you guys are high on Parker right now, I would wait to put your action in on the money line, because I guarantee the closer we get to the weekend, the punters are going to see these odds on Wardley, and they're going to be going in on Wardley, which will then help Parker's odds decrease, go closer to, get you better value on that money line. So that's all I'm saying. I think that would be the move. Dwayne Styles, my guy, man. Bucky's. Dwayne, man, I checked the, it's interesting to get to know a lot of you guys over time, not just through the live chat, but also like on my Instagram, and I've spoken to Dwayne on Instagram, and then like last week, shout out to Randall Light. I don't know if you guys missed the live stream. Randall Light, who's in our Discord, he's always on the live. He actually, he came on the live stream because, like I said, if you're in the Discord, I give you the link to pop on and just spread your 2 cents, whatever. We can shoot the shit. And so when Randall Light popped on, we all the comments were like, "Wow, what's up, Rando? It's good to put a face on a name. It's good to hear a voice." And so I talked to Dwayne. I went to his Instagram. I thought Dwayne was like, you're a young buck. I thought Dwayne Styles, man. I thought you were like, yeah, it's cool. I didn't know you were a young buck, and it's cool to get to know you boys. Parker the better boxer. Parker the better boxer, but you're asking for trouble. Exactly. Will, you feel me on this? So, and this is where I want this is where, if you guys are in the Discord and you're tailing my picks and you never watch the live streams and you never watch my videos and you get frustrated because you just take what I take and you lose, we can't win every goddamn fight, right? You gotta watch the lives because we're talking about it. If you are high on Joe Parker and you're gonna take him on the money line, and you're gonna take him anyway, wait to put your action on. Wait until at least Friday, because the odds will get better in Parker's favor. Because right now, that 450 on Wardley, because think about it. Let's say 50 people watching this right now, all at the same time, put $100 on Wardley on the money line. That money coming in, $5,000, will shift Parker from 123 at least to maybe 130. The boxing betting niche, guys, isn't as big as you think. It doesn't take too many thousands of dollars into the boxing betting world to shift odds. So that's all I'm saying. If you're high on Wardley, I would jump on Wardley now. And that's generally how this works. If you're high on Wardley, I would jump on him now because the odds are probably going to decrease. And if you're high on Parker, I would wait. That's all I'm saying. Assad, I was convinced I'm coming away. Goddamn. Hell nah. Hell nah. Ryan Hong. What's up, player? This fight's going the distance. Who would have thought Arslan Beck, Mahmoudov versus Dave Allen was going to go the distance? If I had a producer or editor, here's what I would tell my producer and editor right now. I would say, hey, producer and editor, let's call him Mike. Hey, Mike, could you go to my live stream last week when I went on that 3 to 4 minute rant about why Dave Allen and Arslan Beck will go the distance? I was like, everybody thinks it's going to be a stoppage and knockout, but every now and then in these heavyweight clashes, it turns in kind of a hug fest. And after the 4th or 5th round, if they're not too skilled, a lot of the rounds will just disappear and then the fight will go the distance. I didn't bet on it. I didn't play it. But Ryan Hong, to your point, these things do happen. Here in PH, Lloyd Hernandez, holla at your boy. Here in PH, plus 710 knockout, Wardley. Yeah. So right now here in Australia, Wardley 590. 100 on Wardley by knockout gets your money back plus 490 bucks, close to a 5-1. I think that's similar. Down here in Oz, they do the dollar odds rather than the plus or minuses. PJ, what's up, PJ Playboy? If this fight goes the distance, I got Parker. Yeah. You know what's impressive though, guys? We got, I mean, everybody talks about when we think about Wardley versus Hooney, at least in my head, the two biggest narratives, Wardley versus Hooney, how it played out, like the two most important narratives were how could Hooney, I can't believe Hooney made that choice to punch with Wardley. That's the one. The second biggest narrative is Wardley was getting beat the entire fight until he landed that one punch. But a narrative nobody talks about Fabio is the fact that he carried power all the way to the 11th. That's something you got to think about too. That's something not a lot of guys could do. It's kind of a rare thing, and I think that's a testament to his natural power. Some guys just have that. Some guys just boom, just have it. And the scary thing about Wardley is, unlike Deontay, who has that, he doesn't look like he has it. Granted, Deontay's 6'6", 6'7", tall, lanky, similar kind of like when you think, and sometimes in boxing and in striking, Muay Thai and MMA fighters who are like well versed as a striker, a lot of times that long, lean sort of lima bean body type, you through the torque, you just get create massive power, but optically, it's not that sort of. I don't want to say it, for the lack of better terms, it's not that scary. Wardley, on the other hand, this guy has that power, and optically, he looks scary. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm trying to say? Randall Light checking in. What's up? Rando, just gave you a shout. Talked about you dropping by on the live stream, and hopefully you're doing well. He's a beast. Elagos, Parker's power is underestimated. Playing Parker by decision, yes, and knockout just in case. Wardley was gassed out late. He was gassed out late, but his power was still there. You know what I'm saying? It's a rare thing. It's a rare thing. Because gassing out means you go from using the body to arm punching. Gassing out is like you become like an arm puncher. Your feet aren't as stable. You're not digging in. You don't have as much torque. There's not enough, there's not as much energy coming on with those shots. So even all that, in consideration, I agree. He was gassed out. He still had enough one-punch power to stop Hooney. Hooney's head was like this big too. Justice Hooney looks one of the Justice Hooney reminds me of one of the, I think they're the gods from Easter Island. My $100 parlay still alive. Zahabi checked in. I switched to litter. Nice, N. Yeah, I took Zahabi too. Amon Zahabi versus Cheeto. I had him on a parlay. Close fight. I know you were sweating with those scorecards. 100. Lima bean. It's hard to see Worley getting stopped. I know, isn't it? But he might. Let's this is what I was talking about.
Five heavyweights, started boxing in his early 20s to get fit. Wardley was working a 9-to-5 office job, having never laced up a pair of gloves before. But Coach Robert Hodgin saw something special in him. And once Fabio started sparring, he knew he wanted to fight. Wardley went on to have 4 white collar bouts, knocking out every opponent.
So if you want to watch that, I put that up in my story. It's on Fabio Wardley's Instagram. It's interesting. We knew about this. This is something that the fight fans already knew, but the newer fight fans might not know. It just makes his story equally as impressive. And if this guy could become a world champion, it's literally the stuff of movies. It really is, man. It's literally like if he could overcome if he could beat Joe Parker, if he knocks out Joe Parker, mate, and none of us have spoken about and let's give Joe his flowers. God damn it. Give me a second. No, and you got to mention Andy Lee, when you talk about Joe Parker in this current version. This version of Joe Parker right now with Andy Lee is a different version than he was 2 years ago. You have to mention that. And 100% for the better. And just off top, we've seen just in the last 24 months fighters who have kind of like invested in Andy Lee, who was a good pro in his own right, have success after having not so great performances. Ben Whitaker is another one, and there's other ones off the that I'm slipping my mind, but Ben Whitaker, he lost to Liam Cameron. Didn't lose that controversy with Liam Cameron the first fight, switches camps, goes to Andy Lee, then has a great performance. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Joe Parker's been with Andy Lee a little bit longer. And we can't undervalue him. And I think that he might be one of the most grossly undervalued heavyweights of the guy is a legend. Like he's a legend, meaning like he's a great dude. His story's great. He's an all around like awesome guy. He's going to be very skilled. He's a great boxer. He's good with his feet. He's good with his setups. He's good with his feints. That's the thing that a lot of people that I'm seeing, those head feints, that the little subtleties, that he does it, with his front foot, the little subtleties. Like what he does really well is he could pull things out of you. Sometimes in the past, he's kind of waited a little bit too long, and then he's gotten caught. And the people are going to say his durability or he's chinny. He's only been stopped once, but we've seen him dropped. You've seen Joe Parker hit the canvas. So it's a very intriguing fight. Anybody who's going to stand on a platform, get rich. I know who's going to win. That video that I played earlier from the Discord about the betting, this con artist. These fools, these con artists are telling people to go to the bank and get a $10,000 loan and put the $10,000. It's like, shut the fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. So what I'm saying is, nobody knows who's gonna win this fight. You might think but how it's gonna go, we won't know until we see the show. And if you want me to flow, I could drop a beat if I hear it in the back. Something like that. So yeah. Anyway, what else we got? Let's go check. This is. I want to check something real quick. I want to show you guys something real quick. Why is this not working? That's so weird. Did I block myself? So what I did, I tried loading up stories on my IG that I could play, but it's saying, I don't know why it's not working. I didn't really talk about this yet, but this is a good card coming up. This Monte Carlo card. I shared this on my Instagram. Masood versus McGrill. This is a card that's I don't know if the mainstream is talking about it, but the matchups on this card, man, I can't wait for this Monte Carlo card. But I just wanted to sidetrack because I was on Instagram. I'm gonna go back to the sports betting app. We're gonna stay on for another at least 10, 15 minutes. Let's talk about the current odds for the rest of the fights this week. We'll get to business. So all in all, guys, 123. I'm still not I'm not convinced yet right here. I'm not convinced on who I like here. Because even right now, let's do a poll. Do a poll. Who wins? Like, I bet you it's 50-50. I bet you it's 50-50 right now. Christ the truth, that's not very godlike to be in this chat where we're talking about betting, We're talking about sacrilegious acts of gambling. You got upset outside of the town square. I think it was in Jerusalem when they were betting and gambling, and you went off on the prostitutes. I think that's where you met Mary Magdalene. So, Christ the truth, come on now. You're welcomed here, but you need to set by a better example. Yo, Jay, Muscle Brown, Playboy. Yo, Jay, I'm leaving the Discord due to you not being transparent with your picks. What are you talking? You said, oh, this is PJ. This is PJ. This is. Yeah. So this is wild. This is wild right here because if this is muscles, that's wild that you're doing this. I don't think it's I think this is PJ. Is that? Yeah, that's not the real muscles. I love the chat, boys. I love our chat, boy. You guys are wild. Muscle Brown, Ticketgate, Carlos and Ticketgate, boy. Y'all cast is wild. Colin and Claire. Yes. Carlos. Yo, Los. Yo, Carlos. Call in, man. Let's clear the air real quick. You got the link. Call in. We'll do a live stream. You explain the... No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You guys baited me in. I'm not doing it. Let's stick to the game plan. Yeah, that's PJ. Dude, call me. All right, we gotta stick to business. I'm rocking with Masoud at Assad. I got shocked though. Damn, what did I miss? See, we got caught talking about Ticketgate, and now I'm behind on the chat. I got Fulton. When did we bring up Fulton? Oh, Christ brought it up. Okay, let's pull it up. Look at this lineup, guys. Virgil Lubin, GAR Hiroka, Bumgardner Boudouin. Don't sleep on Catterall Esuman. Eubank Ben, Rafa versus Kagai. Abdullah. Don't sleep on Abdullah versus Noakes either. Bam, Puma, Devin, BNJ, Benavidez Yard. That's wild. My betting app is so shady. You see how my betting app has it broken down in grade A fights, grade B, and grade C? That means that they put Shock and Fulton as not a grade A fight. What sort of horse bush league is this? Wow, am I not, what the hell's going on? I'm not even seeing it. Did the fight get called? Did I miss something? The fight got rescheduled. When did this shit... Hold on. I already locked my Fulton bet, but the fight got rescheduled. When did that happen, guys? See, there's so much... I can't pay attention. I can't pay attention to everything. When did that get happen? How did I not know Shock and Fulton got postponed? I was taking Shock, by the way. That's quiet. Once again, I'm going to say my favorite 1990s Youngstown, Ohio saying, as quiet as it's kept, I was taking Fulton, or I was taking Shock. as quiet as it's kept. As quiet as it's kept, I was taking shock out here, boy. Did I know this? Yeah, damn, there's just too much up. I need to flush some stuff out, reset it. I didn't. Okay, I knew this. I probably talked about it. Rescheduled due to the. Oh, the card. Okay. Fundora Thurman card. Yeah, I did know that. The entire card got glitched. Okay. Andrew Sevilla. Did that get canceled? Dude, people sleep on Andrew Sevilla too, man. There's a prospect out of Sydney. He trains out of Miami now. Mateo Tapia. Watch the Mateo Tapia Andrew Sevilla fight. They called that a draw. Both guys were knocked down, I think, multiple times. Denzel Bentley, I think, going into that Andrew Sevilla fight, I think he might have been a favorite. I only know this because behind the scenes, I was talking to one of the sharp bettors in our Discord, and we were going to go heavy on Andrew Sevilla. I was going to take Sevilla in that fight. Sevilla's a dog. That's a fight damn, I really wanted to see that fight. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. And sadly, my grandpa died at 54 of Alzheimer's. So I do have it in my family, but that's why I live a healthy life. So I'm 43. My grandpa died, I think, at 54, 50, maybe 56. So if I start getting signs of Alzheimer's, call me out on it. Maybe I got 12 good years left. But yeah, I don't. Usually my memory's on point. Fabio Wardley, only good fight this weekend. That UFC card fire, though. Then it's not the only good fight in. We got boxing matches, too. So, yeah, the UFC card. Do you want to talk about the UFC card? No, not yet. We'll save the next live stream to talk about the UFC card. I'm excited to upload my first upload of the week, the Joshua Pagan fight. So, let's... Casimero Kameda? Casimero Kameda's a great fight. Dude, did you see Ezra Taylor has a new opponent? I posted that on my Instagram. The that fight got his opponent pulled out. That was going to be a good fight. They replaced Ezra Taylor. He was supposed to fight, and Steed Woodall is fighting him now. Danny Quartermain, 5-1 dog. Pedro Tattaron, we saw him in Japan. Louis Neary. Louis Neary fight, dude. Louis Neary, people sleep on Neary? Oh no, I wasn't show me some good. Yeah, so I think Louis Neary's a guy, instant action. That's a good fight. Yeah, and thanks, Rambler. Yeah, so Edmondson pulled out. And shout out to the promoters for getting Ezra a fight. So it was supposed to be Edmondson versus Ezra, and a lot of people were excited about that fight. You know, the domestic implications and the odds, they were pretty close, and the fan bases. It had a little steam on it. Had a little bit of steam. That little steam boy. Volkov. All right, I'm gonna give you what you want. Let's check it out. Hold up, Playboy. The NBA, go Cleveland. Let's go Cavs. I'm going to show you a sneaky bet I'm putting $100 on real quick. We're about an hour in. I'm going to show you a sneaky one I'm putting $100 on. NBA Player Awards. The disrespect they're showing my boy. This is the face. The disrespect they're showing my boy. So I'm going with, that's called the doo-doo face, by the way, to win the MVP. Let's motherfucking go. Let's go, Spider Mitchell. Let's motherfucking go. Let's go. 100 on Spider to win the MVP, 10K. Don't sleep. Muscle's going to get Junior. Oscar de la Pipa. And I got Ikram. Let's get into that. All right, real quick. So there are some UFC fights this weekend. I hit 7. So I did well last week, the UFC. I hit all undercards. I went 7 for 7. The parlay I missed was the one. The 2 parlays I missed last week were the 2 I did on the live stream. One with G, and then one with B Cubed, Breaking Bad Boxing. I call him B Cubed, BBB. Yeah, it was a bad. We both had a bad read on RDR. That was kind of wild watching Brendan Allen make RDR quit. Did you guys see the serial killer thing I put up? Did you guys see the YouTube video I uploaded about the serial killer in the crowd during Brendan Allen's walkout? Did you guys see that or no? It's on my YouTube. I did a video about it. Oh yeah, Ludovic Klein's one of my favorite fighters. So Ludovic Klein is a Slovak. My dad was born in Prague, Czechoslovakia, which, you know, Czechoslovakia as a country no longer exists. So my last name Stavko is Czechoslovakian. So every time I see Slovaks come to the UFC, Ludovic Klein's one of them. Who else is another one? Who's the light heavyweight? Yuri Prohaska. I think he's a Slav as well. But Ludovic Klein. So you got the Slav versus fighting the Polak. Matusz Rebecki. Dude, Klein, look, don't get it twisted. Rebecki's style, you know, he wants to be in a barn burner. Ludovic Klein wants to keep it technical. Great striker on the feet. I think Klein stops Rebecki. But Klein's worked on his takedown defense. You know, and the thing about Klein, though, he's so body, just always in good shape, cuts a lot of weight, but so does Rebecki. Rebecki's gonna be on his front foot the entire time. He's gonna be running like it's a goddamn freak show. He's like, you catch the early flight home from San Diego, and you got 2 naked people handcuffed jumping out of your closet like it's a goddamn freak show. What he really means to say is, love is blind. Nah. I got to address this comment. I don't have a problem with Turkey because he's a Muslim. What are you talking about? One of my best friends is Muslim. Because he got... This is actually an insane comment. Assad, I appreciate your perspective, though, and you're all discourse is welcome. But now I gotta address... Do I have a problem with Turkey because he's a Muslim? Because he got... No! I'm not hating. Here's why I got a problem with Turkey. Because I look at Turkey al-Sheikh and what the Saudis are doing in all pro sports. I look at that akin to, let's look it up, sports washing, 1936 Munich Olympic Games with, what Adolf was doing in Germany, using sports as a disguise to really kind of, hide what they were doing. Now, obviously, the Saudis aren't committing a mass genocide or attempting to, like Germany was doing, but what they are doing is, I mean, come on, look what they did with LIV, look what they did with what they're doing with F1, look what the announcement they just made with the gaming. I think they just bought out EA Sports, boxing. Can we talk about MBS and Jamal Khashoggi? What, we just forget about the Washington Post journalist that was kind of disappeared, dismembered, and at the consulate in, I think that was Turkey, if my memory serves me correctly. So my point comes down to intentions. The idea that I would dislike another human being based off of their spirituality, their religion, their faith, their bank account, their power scale is wild. But I appreciate the question because you really don't know me. So to say I'm hating would be a false statement. To say I'm calling him up on what his intentions are. That's what I would really ask him. I'd be like, what are your intentions? You just, because look what the Saudis are doing with art as well. Do a little bit more research. So I'm not hating on him. No, 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 no. I'll show you something real quick. Sports washing is the practice of using sports to improve a country's or organization's reputation and distract from negative issues such as human rights abuses or unethical practices. It can involve hosting major sporting events, sponsoring teams, or investing in sports to create a positive public image. Examples include authoritarian states using sports to mask poor human rights records or companies using it to distract from environmental damage. Examples of sports washing. You could do your own research. I don't want to get too, in deep about it, but back to Assad's point and his question. I don't know. What are his intentions? You think he loves boxing? He doesn't love boxing. It's all good. It's all good. JP, it's all good. Assad's been on my stream I've done a video about it, and it's fine. It's fine. But Johnny, the U.S. is far from being angels. We continue to terrorize most Muslim countries except Saudi because they're our oil partners. The U.S. is okay. We're not going to turn this. We're not going to turn this into a political debate. I was answering Assad's question, very specific about my beef with Turkey. I answered it. We could convolute my statement or Assad's question and turn it into this, but I'm not going to do that on this channel. But fair point, Aligos. Fair point, brother. No, it's I've spent time in Qatar. The locals, Qatar, beautiful. One of my best friends lives in Oman, one of the most beautiful countries in the world. To say at this stage of the game in my life that I would hold anything against anyone based on what invisible boundaries that they were born in, or I don't judge anybody for reasons that are out of their own control. How can I judge somebody based on how they choose to live their life? So a lot of this is they're fair questions. I'm not getting offended by them, but it's also given me an opportunity to answer them and kind of give you guys a better understanding of how I'm wired. I would never judge anybody based on their spirituality, where they come from. Kiza, I'm from England, but Usyk is a G. Yeah, Usyk is a G. Fury just talk shit. Yeah, we'll finish that on boxing. What were we saying? I mean, what are we doing? What is Usyk doing? Is he done? Usyk's done? Is he fighting again? I just saw him on a motorcycle driving with I think his wife. He doesn't look like, what is he, 38? Maybe you should hang him up. I don't know, man. Interesting cat. I think the question would be with Usyk is how he, he's had such a spectacular career. You would just have to ask, how would Usyk handle other all-time great heavyweights? You know what I mean? Doesn't have a lot of fights either. Why does my story not work? That's so weird. Anyway, that makes me salty a bit. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Yeah, this fight's off. We wanted to see Bentley versus Endry. That fight got canceled. They're not fighting. So it's 8:30 here in Sydney. I'm going to be uploading my breakdown on Joshua Pagan's fight, and I'm going to be going live again in a few hours. Stay tuned to the channel. Appreciate all the support, all the questions, guys. Ask whatever you want. I don't take anything. I don't take offense to anything. So Assad, I appreciate the questions actually. And everybody else who supports the channel, I say thank you. Like this video, put a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, support the channel in any way that you can, and join the Discord as well. And also, if you're following me, if you're on Insta, follow me on Insta. I'll follow you back. Yeah, so that's my Insta tag. A lot of you guys have been messaging me there. And Insta's probably actually the easiest way to get a hold of me, believe it or not. I actually use that